Let's see here. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2019. I call this meeting to order. Sandy, can you please roll call?
Yes, Mr. Warren.
Present.
Mr. Sims.
Present.
Ms. Jacobs. Mr. Henderson.
Present.
Mr. Lockett.
Present.
Mr. Hill.
Present.
You also have present Anna Dow and Sandy Edmonds. You have a quorum.
Is there any public comment on today's agenda? All right, next item, I need approval of the minutes from January 14th of 2019.
So moved. Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The attorney report. I guess we need executive session for this, right?
That's correct.
Move to go into executive session. Second.
And this is under LARS 4217A1, LARS 4217A4, and or LARS 4217A10.
Yes, Mr. Henderson.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Lockett.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Warren.
Yes.
All right, we are in
Executive session. Need a motion to come out of executive session?
Move to do so. Second.
Second. May I roll call it, please, Ms.
Yes,
Sandy?
Mr. Henderson.
Yes.
Mr. Hill.
Yes.
Mr. Lockett.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Warren.
Yes.
All right, you're back in session.
Next item on the agenda is tested auctioneer applicants. Mr. Dustin Brister. Motion to approve.
Move that we approve it. All this paperwork in order, Sandy.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve Mr. Brister. I'll second. This ain't, he ain't up Monroe, is he?
He is not related to former
Aye.
auctioneer Brister. He is distantly related to former board member Clayton Brister.
Okay.
Keep our Bristers straight.
Had a thorough conversation with him about that one.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion about it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Mr. Brister gets a license. Next is Stephen Trahan.
Move that we grant him a license. I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Give him a license. Let's see here. Next one is Mr. Ben Peterson.
He's
No,
a
this-
shift worker. His test is scheduled for tomorrow. I'm sorry.
It is pending exam, I was gonna say, so.
Move that he be granted a license per exam and so forth, so on, bond, et cetera.
Yes, everything's done except his exam.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Hill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Give him a license. It passes. Let's see here. Number 3, reinstatement applications. We've got a James McDaniel. He goes by Blake. Previously licensed 2015. And it's reciprocal.
Where's he from?
He's from Alabama. He's last I knew, he was a ringman for ABC here in Baton Rouge.
Move to grant him a license. Things in order?
Yes, everything is.
Second.
Who was the second?
Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. Approval of a business applicant, Superior Energy Auctioneers. Superior Energy Auctioneers. I don't know why I struggle with saying that.
Where they from? Texas, huh?
Pretty sure.
Got, where's the cruises? Let's see.
Pretty sure it's Texas.
They are San Antonio, Texas.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All those in favor? Any further discussion? Anybody opposed? It passes. Number 5, approval of the financials, which you all have in your packet.
Move the financials be accepted as written. Second.
All those in favor? Any further discussion or opposition? Motion passes. Number 6, online auctions.
All right, you should have in your packet suggested changes to statute and/or regulations. Let me say this, we're going to have to go into the regulations at some point. When I was looking at the regulations, see what we need to change, we're missing some things like what an auction is and who can auction in the state of Louisiana in our regulations, and we technically should be matching our statute. So I'm not going to do it until we make a decision as to what we're going to do about online. With regard to what's in your packet, what I did was copy primarily what is from a state that's already doing this, which is Pennsylvania. I looked at a number, and Illinois has one that, if anybody's interested, we could look at with regard to platforms. But at this point, I don't know if we want to go there because platforms are really not being discussed that much
Have we
among the
got to go
states.
before the legislature with this?
For the statute, you want to change the legislation, yes.
And that's what this does?
Right, I did mention, however, on regulations, you'll see that there's a section that's labeled regulations.
It's like page 3.
Yeah, and if you look at that, that's what we would need to change.
Page 2, halfway down,
Proposed regulation change.
Oh, okay. On the first one.
Where I
Last-
did it in red.
Yeah, and this last page from just the basic ones. But this would be application of the specific definitions. And what I've done in there is simply say, with regard to platforms, the auction company, just as we just discussed, auction companies are responsible for the platforms they use. That may be the simplest way of assuming responsibility and making the auction houses responsible for their use of a platform, so that there's a problem with that. And I'm not saying that we do it. This is a suggestion of what we need to do. So, with regard to regulations, we can do it ourselves, and we have done that in the past. The changes that I've made to the statutes, I would suggest would bring us up to date, more or less, with what other states are doing. I know they're all moving toward this. We had a meeting, a NALOA meeting, telephone conference meeting, a few weeks ago now, and we talked with the other states, and they're all moving toward licensing auctions and auctions in their, generated out of their states.
What's the chance of us having a knockdown drag out with the legislature, like we did before with eBay?
eBay's not gonna be here, apparently it's not gonna be there.
I understand that, but.
I don't know that
You think
anybody in the
this could
legislature
get-
cares,
You think we could get this quietly walked through? Johnny, you introduce it, we do it?
I can talk to him about it. I want to get what we want to do before I talk to him.
I don't have a problem doing it like you got it wrote.
Yeah, I mean, I reviewed
I was
it.
gonna say Miss Jacobs was, she
Darlene
had a-
was pretty far-fetched to some of it.
yeah, but I mean,
But I think Al looked at it, but you
I thought she
did
was gonna look
incorporate
into-
some of her stuff, didn't you?
No. I use other states.
Okay, you use something that's already been done.
Right.
right.
I think that's what we need to do to get the foot in the door, and then we can amend it by the registry then.
Do we
Okay,
want-
Anna?
Do the regulations, as long as we don't change
Table
anything
this till next
substantially
meeting
from
till
what's in the
she's
statute.
here? I said, should we table this till
Well,
next
if
We
meeting?
ain't got that time,
I was about to say,
legislature
legislature
convenes. We ain't got
What's
that
March?
time.
Yeah, that next
Yeah,
month.
in the month.
Just- Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and the thought too was even if there's not a legislator who can put it through this year because it's a fiscal year and they're limited in the number of bills,
They allowed 5.
at least, even if you guys want to approve it for when they can get to it so that it's done and it's off your table.
Yeah.
Well, if we approved it now, and we're not able to get it done, does
It'd lay
that mean,
over.
I mean, do we have to go back through this whole process again?
No,
It just
Okay.
lays over the next session, from what I understand.
but it would be
Until we can get it
2020.
pushed through, right?
Yeah, then I would say let's just still try to get it, see if we can get it done this session.
I think you get, most of these legislators, a lot of them don't file any bills.
Yeah, we probably could find some if we really tried. And I don't see a problem
I don't
now.
imagine Johnny's filing too many because he's running for the Senate.
trying to keep his job. The deal is, be prepared to answer questions with regard, I do have the definitions of these items, and when we talk about auctions, live, online, real-time, extended, any similar such event may be devised with the development of technology, which Pennsylvania threw in, which I like, because we don't know what the next level of technology will have, but it also covers Facebook. If there's such a thing as a Twitter auction, I'm sure that's coming too. So that we'll be somewhat open to this, and we can regulate or define further through regulation once we get to that point. And we have some things we can do in regulatory changes too that possibly would get us to the point where we can continue to do what we're doing. But just so you know, the eBay thing apparently
It's gone.
is gone. eBay doesn't care anymore, and they're doing a lot else. There has been no objection, as far as I know, in any state to these changes, unless you get a few auctioneers who don't like to be licensed at all. And you'll get those always picked up on. So that's the only people I'm hearing that have objected. And
What you gonna do? You gonna go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept these proposed statutory changes and this internet stuff as Anna has written.
Second.
Any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Anybody opposed?
Is that what a roll call is, in case the legislature asks?
Yep.
I can do that.
Roll call.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yep. All right. Motion passes. Number 7, proposals for automated renewal system.
Yeah, if I could talk for just a
Turn it over
couple
to you.
minutes. This is something that's come up, I know through the years. Auctioneers have asked, even board members have asked, why can't we just go online and pay and get our license renewed like some other states? And I was hopeful that with all the advances in technology, that pricing had come down. And I'm afraid to report on these two. You have 2 in your packet. One is from a company called Inlumen, which reached out to me, just like a cold call, and I was like, sure, let's play along and see what they can offer. And then I contacted Wyvon at the Mississippi board, because I know they just recently went to online. What I found out in the process is that apparently Mississippi has done something in their state that allowed all their agencies to take care of their own in-house IT from the state level. But this was, US Next was a company that was on their radar that they could have used. So I went ahead and contacted them. Honestly, with the dollar amount that's on both of them, I would feel horrible even asking you to pursue. I just can't see spending $16,000 a year just so I don't have to process some papers in my office. Or this other one, $37,000 up front and $7,400 annually.
We
for
could create
maintenance.
software for that price and do it ourselves in-house.
Well, I don't know how to create the
No, I'm
software,
just
but
saying, maybe we could hire somebody,
I'm
'cause
hopeful
I'd like
that
to know myself.
somebody can. So I'm
You can do it through your
gonna
website.
I'm gonna do some more research with other smaller boards and
But
licensing
by having
states.
someone else process it, are we still gonna be able to monitor and see who's licensing in an adequate amount of time? And who, I mean,
Oh, sure,
still
it'll be
gonna
real
have, I
time.
mean, full-blown access to what they're doing.
Sure, it would be real time, so it would still be on my end. And what I had talked to both of them about, just so you know, is that because everyone's required to have a bond, so the bond would have to be submitted, which I did get from Anna, that they would be able to submit those electronically, but I would be monitoring that and actually looking to make sure they didn't just upload a blank document to say, I have a bond and renew. It would actually trigger something on my end where I'd have to actually look at it and make sure that the bond is valid with the dates and everything. And then I would just click a button that would then let them complete the process.
You'd get a cyberspace bond is what you get.
Yeah.
you get a digital bond, yeah. And which is where everybody's going anyway.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
we're already doing it on work ribbon, so
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
unusual.
So, anyways, back to the drawing board.
Okay.
Well, Delbert Holzman, Secretary of State of Mississippi, did it for every agency in the state.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that was awesome, because I think it's kind of
And-
silly that,
But they did it in-house, from what I understand, with some guidance from some outside contractor.
right, but it seems like everybody would start with the same foundation, and you would just do a little personalization as to,
What-
you know,
yeah,
each
what the
agency.
requirements are, yeah.
Whereas both of these quotes, these both seem like, these are companies that have both done this, but in my opinion, it sounds like they're starting like 100% from scratch, whereas I think it would be cheaper because they've already done it, and all you have to do is take a platform you've already created and just tailor it to us.
Aren't you letting them pay with a Visa online already?
They can't online, they have to write the number on their form and send it to me.
okay.
So yeah, they can pay with a Visa, MasterCard, or American Express and Discover. We now take all of them. But anyways, that's it, back to the drawing board.
Table that for the present time.
Yep.
That way it'd be legal what we done.
You want to table it?
Yeah, let's table it for right now.
Second.
Are you still gonna continue to do the research?
I'm going
on-
to do the research,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, hit it prematurely opposed. Anybody opposed? It passes. Let's see here, next meeting date, May the 6th. Couldn't get us some Cinco de Mayo there?
You want some chips and salsa?
I'm just kidding.
No.
No, Liz,
burrito
top shelf
either,
margaritas. No salt.
Chimichanga or whatever they
You don't
call
want
it.
Mexican? Okay, I understand.
Chingy chingy, yeah. All right, let's
Or
adjourn.
whatever.
Let's get out of here.
Who's motioning to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Second.
Second.
Let's adjourn.
Okay.
Cool.
We're done.